Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Courtney, that's Phaedra, and Nyx is right down here. I'm not sure that you can see her. She's sleeping by my chair. So I'm back with another installment of my capsule makeup collections. This time I'm going to be showing you office capsule makeup. Now, let me preface this with, I don't work in a conservative environment. I work from home, so I can literally wear whatever I want. When I worked in an office, except for two places that I worked, which were very, very conservative, I've always worked in a creative environment where I could wear whatever I want. So this is going to be tailored towards those very conservative offices where I could not wear whatever I wanted. As always, the first thing you're going to need is eyeshadow primer. You either are going to want something like Too Faced Shadow Insurance or Urban Decay's Primer Potion. Either of these are great in my opinion. Basically, that will help your eyeshadow to stay in place all day so you won't be, having it slip off at the 8th hour or be creased or faded. So invest in an eyeshadow primer. You're going to want a versatile neutral palette. Now, I've got a couple of options to show you. The first one is the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. This one is all matte, so I personally would have to mix this with another palette for some shimmer because I like shimmer on my inner lid. So I would probably want to mix that with something like this, which is the Stila Matte and Metal palette because it has a lot of shimmery shades. You could go for something like the BH Cosmetics Carly Bible Deluxe palette, which has a great, basically set of neutrals, and you've got all of these shimmery highlighter shades. So you would have a lot of variety with this because you basically have your peaches, your peaches and your pinks, your plummy shades, and then your neutral browns. So this is actually a really great choice in my opinion. And you can always layer any of these highlighter colors on top of the inner lid to add more shimmer and depth. Another favorite would be the Kat Von D Shade Plus Light palette because again, you've got all of these staple matte neutral colors to work with. And finally, I think you would also be able to do pretty well with the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills because you've got great shades like Primavera that you could use in the lid or Vermeer, and then really good transition colors and crease colors over here. You would want to avoid the deep red shades, or at least I would not wear red in a conservative office environment. I would avoid those. But these colors over here would do okay, and these colors too. So while your eyeshadow should be pretty chill in a conservative office environment, you can step out a little bit with your lipsticks. I feel like, a classic red lip is always okay. I love 714. As long as everything else is very understated, you could do a slightly deeper red lip like with Urban Decay's Hex. For a really good kind of, rosy neutral, a color I would reach for would be Kat Von D's Lolita. I've actually used this a ton lately, and one of the ways I really like to apply it that I don't ever see anybody else do is I will take it and basically blot, I guess I kind of put it on my bottom lip and I press my lips together, and then I take my ring finger and just kind of smudge it out with my finger to get a nice sheer coating of color. You can see what it looks like right there. But I think it's a really good lip for pretty much any sort of environment. One of my favorite My Lips But Better type color would be Violate, which is this sort of pink with a violet undertone. That's absolutely appropriate. I also kind of think Peyote would be a good choice. It's a really pretty sort of rose gold inspired shade. If you're looking for long wear liquid lipsticks, colors I would recommend would probably be Jouer Tawny Rose, because it's this really nice sort of pinky nude. I also like Jouer Dulce de Leche, I think I said that right, which is a lighter, warmer version of that color. So I basically feel like with lips, you get a lot more variety and options in that sort of environment. For lip pencils, you really just need a red, like Kat Von D's X, a burgundy if you're going to do burgundy like Urban Decay Hex, and then sort of a nude color, a light pink color like Urban Decay's Native or Peyote or Naked. One of those lighter pinky nude type colors is perfect to go with these. For a highlighter, you might want something really simple and skin-like. You could use the Ofra Nikki Tutorials highlighter depending on your skin tone. I can only wear the white shade, but I know a lot of people love the gold shade, and deeper skin tones look beautiful in the coppery shade. So something that gives you a really light highlight and mimics skin would probably be your best bet. I do feel like a lot of the women that I knew in conservative offices really didn't contour, but what they did like to do was wear bronzer. I don't know why, but a lot of them would wear like bronzer or bronzer and lipstick or bronzer, blush and lipstick, and that would be it. So I would say if you're looking for an excellent bronzer, I personally love the Physicians Formula Mura Butter Bronzer in Light. This smells like a tropical vacation, and I don't know, I love this. It's my favorite bronzer. For an office-friendly capsule collection, I would go with it basically maybe 2 blushes, like one warm toned blush and one cool toned blush. But obviously it's whatever works best for your skin tone. The blushes I would pick would probably be like Urban Decay's Score, which is Urban Decay's most popular blush. It's a pinky peach blush with gold glitter. So that's one that I feel like you often see people wearing right there. It's really pretty. In addition to Score, I also really like Rapture by Urban Decay, which is kind of like a mauve color, and it's got like a slight sheen, but it's a little more cool toned. So you could have those 2 blushes. If you don't like your blushes to have any sheen to them, Urban Decay also makes a lot of great matte blushes. In particular, I like Fetish and TMI and X-Rated. That's TMI, that's Fetish, and that's X-Rated. It's more like a spring blush color to me. So I feel like eyeliner is always appropriate, so pick your poison. I like Kat Von D's liquid eyeliner in Trooper if you want a liquid. I like Urban Decay's Perversion if you want a pencil. And I love Sigma's Wicked if you want a gel. So any of these are great. For brows, I really like Wunderbrow because it's sweat proof and exercise proof. So that's what I have on my brows today, and I like it. You can basically wear it for 2 or 3 days before taking it off and then reapplying. So it can also save you some time in the morning if you just want to put it on, you know, say on one day and not reapply it again until Wednesday. If you don't like a strong brow, what I recommend is something like ColourPop's brow pencils. I love their brow pencils. I use the shade Jet Set Black. I think that's what it's called. Foundation, as always, you're going to want to find a foundation that works for your skin type. If you have oily skin, I recommend that you look at Kat Von D's Lock-It Foundation because I feel like it has an excellent shade range and it is great for normal to oily skin. It is, however, very full coverage. I personally don't need full coverage foundation, so that's because I have dry skin, I don't wear it, and because I also don't want full coverage, I don't wear it. For more like a My Skin But Better effect, I think that Urban Decay's Naked Skin Foundation is great, and I think that can work for normal to dry skin. And then if you have extremely dry skin like mine, what I recommend that you check out is the Eden Minerals Foundation or the Ordinary Serum Foundation, because both of those are really great for dry skin like mine. For concealer, I love the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer. I think it's awesome. It is my favorite concealer. I sometimes use 2 or 3 shades if I'm going to be using like concealer around to sculpt my face, but even just in a pinch, I like L1 Neutral for concealing under my eyes. It works really, really well. It has a lot of pigmentation and it can hide dark circles if you have them. For setting powder, I like the Milani Prep Set Go in the translucent or in the illuminating. Either way, one of these will work to set your foundation if you need to set it. For setting spray, definitely Urban Decay All Nighter because it will last you all day. If you're in an ultra conservative office environment, you may need to even wear like nude or understated nail polish. So I would personally recommend that you look at KB Shimmer. They have a lot of great holographic neutrals that are not too flashy that you can probably get away with in a conservative office environment. One of my favorites by them is Stop and Smell the Rosé, which is kind of like this rose gold type color. They also have a very pretty one that's called That's Nude to Me. So those are great. They have creams if you don't want to go the holographic route. If you can wear something a little more blingy, definitely look at some of my favorites like Pearls Gone Wild or I'm Onyx or #YourIt. I'll insert a link up here somewhere so that you can go check out some of my favorites from KB Shimmer and see if those are colors you might like. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed my Office Professional Capsule Makeup Collection. Please be sure to let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share. I love it when you share my videos. It makes my day. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click that little subscribe button down below so you never miss seeing me, Phaedra, or Nyx. Thanks so much for watching.